Hey guys, TIs and non-TIs alike. It is September 25th, 2017, and this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. Just at the Target, picking up some Velcro actually. That's not what this video is about, but I kind of do want to speak about that. I got some grounding, like a strip for my arm to put around my arm, and then a strip to put around my leg. And the one for my leg, it seems like somebody is coming into my condo, so I'm not sure if it's the maintenance guy or the guy next to me who's harassing me, but somebody's coming in and scraping the Velcro side with that hooks into the kind of more furry Velcro side. Because on the armband, everything's pretty good. There's a little bit scraped off of the side, but on that leg one, it is like totally scraped off. And now I got the grounding gear probably about, a month ago. And Velcro, I've never seen Velcro do that, but like the side that actually hooks into the furry part of the Velcro has been scraped off. And like it was kind of, there was half of it there. A couple of days ago, I went to hang out with my parents and my grandma and my aunt yesterday, which was really good. Got to hang out with all of them, and then I come back, because it's a pretty, I stayed over there for a while, 2 or 3 hours, and it was on a Sunday, and I come back, and all the side of the Velcro that hooks into the furry side had been scraped off, so I've actually had to come buy some more Velcro to put on my grounding, leg band, which is super, super weird. It seems like a little thing they would do because, I'm pretty sure someone is coming into my condo, but they're not doing huge things. They're doing things that, maybe I would just notice. And it's a really annoying thing because I try and Velcro it and it falls off of my leg, and the grounding is really working for me. But that's not really what I'm making the video about. I'm kind of trying, I'm on my way home. I've been out today kind of running some errands. I'm up during the day. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon where I am. So I thought it'd be a good time to, try and get some vehicular stalking evidence on camera and just talk about some things that are going on. I might call this video Cuba embassy attacks revisited, because that's the big news. The big news is for my life, and I know for a lot of TIs, and I'm not celebrating 21 State Department workers now that we know that were attacked by sonic weapons, or what we know as directed energy weapon systems in Cuba. I'm not celebrating that, because they were hurt, they have concussive effects, health problems, loss of hearing, a lot of the things that targeted individuals experience. However, I'm happy that there's a story in the mainstream news, because it has affected my personal life. I've been telling my parents about this for a long time. They're kind of like, they don't understand, how vicious the attacks are, and that it is a 24-hour, war every day, and while you sleep. But, I talked to them about it. My mom kind of, she kind of responded when I kept laying on the activism part of it. We're doing this for activism, the Global TI Survey. We have, Bill Benny heading that up, and Kirk Weeby, and we're handing out flyers, and I'm doing videos. So she would respond to that, when I would stop talking about, how awful it is and how much it hurts, the consistent attacks during the day. Now, they came in this weekend, and I had planned to, not talk about, the targeting on me, but to give them the information on the Cuban embassy attack if they had not heard about it. A great thing happened when I asked them about it. They had seen it all over the news, And on their way from Florida to here, where they have a place where they stay here when they come in, they were listening to radio programs where the Cuban embassy attacks were being discussed all over the radio. And that was a one-light car. I gotta be quicker on the draw right now, but I'm kind of trying to tell you all this story. So now, like, my parents were kind of on the fence. You know, they knew there was some validity to what I was saying, but now it's like it seems to be cinched in. They believe what I'm saying, because in the mainstream news there was a story, you know, the Cuban embassy attack, the 21 State Department workers. So they're just, it's a microcosm of the TI community, what is happening in my personal life, but I feel like the microcosm spreads out to the macrocosm, which is what is happening to us all. And I feel like now, since that story's in the mainstream media, and you know, we're hitting it hard, and you know, family members are learning about, you know, that aspect of it, where these 21 State Department workers were hit with sonic they say sonic weapons in the article, but it was 21 State Department workers at the embassy in their homes, in their cars, you know, for such a long period of time. For like over a year, they were hit with this stuff. It's kind of starting to sink in for the general public that this is happening, and even though it sounds bizarre that people would do this to people for so long, that it really is happening, you know. So it was just a big, I guess, a big step, a big event, you know, in the relationship between me and my parents, and letting them know the truth, and my family. Now, you know, we were hanging out at lunch, and I mentioned something about it to, I asked my grandma and my aunt, you know, hey, did y'all hear about that? And I didn't really get into it too much with them, but they thought I was talking about the hurricane. They hadn't heard much about the actual sonic weapon attacks, but my parents had heard a lot about it. And probably because they had heard something about it, and it really piqued their interest because of what I've been telling them. So, you know, even though I'm not celebrating that these State Department workers were hurt, because, you know, I'm being hit with directed energy weapon systems, you know, 7 years that I know of, and then I'm pretty sure I was tortured before that, thinking it was my Crohn's disease. So I'm definitely not celebrating people being hurt, but I am celebrating that this is a huge step for us. This is a huge step for us, and I feel it. I just feel it, you know, within society. Whenever anything comes out in mainstream news, it makes a complete difference. People start accepting it in whole different ways, which is sad, because the mainstream news is covering up many things, you know, from mandates, from people with agendas in the upper echelon. So that is sad that they control so much of what people accept and do not accept. But it is a happy event, not a happy event. It's just a good step forward that this is being brought out. Now, you know, I'm not celebrating the 21 State Department workers' pain and what they've gone through and their health issues, because I feel that pain personally. You know, from years and years of directed energy weapon systems torture. You know, people testing this out on me, and contractors. Gosh, my engine is just like really riding me like a Bronco, so my seat's like shaking. But I did want to tell y'all about that, because it really just, it made a difference in the people that I'm really trying to convince that this is going on. You know, my mom said once again, you know, like, we believe you, we just don't know what to do, you know, and they really love me, they really help me out. I'm blessed to have a family that, even though they don't understand all this, they really help me. And I know a lot of other TIs don't have that, so I really thank God for that. I would be homeless without my parents with this happening, which is really sad, because, you know, they're at the age where, you know, they should be retiring, and they're really working hard. And I should be taking care of them, and I'm capable of having, you know, a good career and a job, but this is, you know, sidewinding me into, you know, the dark hole of, you know, being patrolled and harassed every day, and, you know, having directed energy weapons shot at my head, and high-pitched sound in the ears, and my CD player attacked 24 hours a day if I try and listen to Dave CD. Now that is a very, gosh, I can't get over that, because, you know, last night too, and I do have to, I gotta get a digital recorder and get Dave's CD on the digital recorder so that they can't make it skip, because what they're doing, what my attackers are doing is, they're making me think that they're hitting the CD player and that it keeps going on, but then when I fall asleep, they're shutting it down with actual directed energy weapon hits to the CD player. So I'll go to sleep, and then they turn it off while I'm asleep, and then I wake up feeling a lot worse, because it does really block out a lot of the just stuff they're trying to do to your head at night, the you know, remote neural manipulation and entrainment that they're trying to get done while you're sleeping. And then I was going to say something, but I completely forgot it. It was kind of important. But yeah, so I'm going to be working on getting a, you know, digital recorder and getting that so they can't make it skip. But oh, I was thinking, guys, because of that experience, you know, I've experienced where it's like, okay, I have my electronic cigarette, and I'm playing Dave CD. They actually heat up the electronic cigarette, and it ends up, there's a little cartridge where the nicotine, where the actual electronic cigarette will heat up that little cartridge so that it will release the nicotine in a vapor, and they actually hit the end, that cartridge, with directed energy to heat it up and waste it. So like, I'm getting 6 hours out of my new cartridges, where I should probably get about, you know, 12 to 16 hours. You know, I should get about a day out of each of them, but I'm getting about 6 hours. So they're trying to make those waste, you know, so I have to buy more because they're kind of expensive. They're just, you know, they do all these little things in conjunction with actually attacking your body, doing remote neural monitoring and remote neural manipulation, you know, on your brain and nervous system. But then they do all the, there's a one light work truck. Hope I got that on film. But I was thinking, because of that, and then I'll have like Dave's CD playing, they'll also be hitting the CD player with directed energy and making it skip and stop. So it got me thinking. I really didn't think much about it at first, you know, because we do talk about, you know, how are they directing this energy to our body? Like, how are they taking this wireless energy, electromagnetic frequencies, you know, route it from whatever station they're at through a satellite to a cell phone tower, then to us remotely, or, you know, straight from the remote station to a cell phone tower, route it like a cell phone signal, and then to our body and our brain. It got me thinking, like, they must have a visual, you know, they must have a radar visual of inside my condo, and they're hitting these things, these electronic devices, pretty precisely. My CD player and electronic cigarette, I mean, they're hitting a very small, the cartridge is maybe half an inch, and they're hitting that little half an inch spot, and I don't think there's you know, there's definitely no chip or anything that that would pull that electromagnetic frequency to that electronic cigarette. So it made me think a little bit more about how they are hitting us. Now, I know there's a lot of different methods. I know a lot of TIs, we do have implants, you know, in our teeth or in our jaw or somewhere else in the body. It is a place where they can direct the energy to nanoparticulates, you know, to make the signal hit us harder. But seeing how they hit these devices that don't have any kind of nanoparticulates or chips in them, and they hit them very precisely, remotely, like they're hitting them remotely, it makes me think, even if you, like, if they get, you know, remote surveillance on you or radar surveillance, that they can kind of hit you anywhere on your body without any of that stuff. And I want you guys to leave a comment about that, you know, kind of what you think about that. But they're hitting these electronic devices very precisely, and they don't have nanoparticulates or implants in them,